Welcome back to Railfan Adventure Video Series. This is part 4, Devon-Glen Alum.
Here you can see we're at milepost N 445.8. The Tug Fork River makes a sharp curve here as it snakes to its headwaters. The Y bridge you see crosses the Tug into Kentucky and through the 1,691-foot Devon Tunnel. From here starts the Buchanan branch that leads to Weller Yard in Grundy, Virginia, which will be a segment in a future episode. This area is fairly easily accessed with a road that runs near the right-of-way for several miles. Just be cautious due to it being used frequently with local traffic, railroad vehicles, and ATV traveling this road is not advised after any prolonged heavy rains. The Tug Fork is known to rise very rapidly in this area. At one point, multiple homes were located in this area. They have mostly been abandoned or destroyed by the floods that still plague this area of Mingo County. However, some family homes still remain. Our first train on this May 13, 2013 day is an eastbound autorack train with a pair of Dash 9s for power, one wide cab and one standard cab. Our next train is an eastbound loaded coal train coming off the Buchanan branch led by another Dash 9. The wait for the next train was very short. Rounding the sharp curve is a westbound loaded coal train. Lead power is a former Conrail Dash 840 CW and another standard cab Dash 9. A local in an older Ford F-150 seems to be in a race with our train, especially with the dust he has kicked up from behind. A running of the ponies. As the end of this train rolls by, seeing locomotives on the rear of the train is a rare sight at this point in time and location. The pair of standard cab Dash 9s makes me think this must have just finished loading at a coal mine, perhaps even Glen Alum. Just as the coal train is about to round the curve and clear our location, an eastbound manifest train appears. SD60M number 6780 smokes it up as she leads Dash 9 number 9240 with a long train of mixed freight cars into the big curve and upgrade. We're back on a very sunny and warm June 21, 2013 day. After a slight wait, the first train is an eastbound coal train being pulled by a repainted Conrail Dash 840 CW number 8439. The two big G locomotives will definitely be working hard shortly and barking off the rock cliffs. After an extended wait, a very long westbound leans into the curve. The power of this train is just as much of an odd combination as the train itself. Two Dash 9s, a high hood GP 38-2, an ES 44DC, and SD 70. All leading a fairly long string of loaded top guns of coal, and bringing up the rear is a long string of tank cars. This was the last train for the day at this location. Next, we're going to move to Glen Alum. The date, July 6, 2013. The location, Glen Alum, West Virginia. Glen Alum derived its name from the coal company that started in this area around turn of the 1900s. This was also the site of the infamous payroll robbery that took place August 14, 1914. which resulted in one of the largest manhunts in the Mingo County area. More information and the story can be found and heard on the podcast of Stories of Appalachia. With the noise echoing off the walls of the 1,302-foot Glen Alum Tunnel, NS-9 number 8999 pokes her face out into the fresh air with a long train of westbound double stacks. If you look back at the tunnel, you can see where the liner and face has been notched to allow for the passage of double stack containers. Later in the day, and with a face full of West Virginia sun, an eastbound autorack train spews exhaust as it rushes into Glen Alum Tunnel. Back at Devon on February 24, 2014. Our first catch is a loaded eastbound coal train crossing the Tug Fork River exiting the Buchanan branch. Next up is the last train of the video. BNSF-9 number 5378 leads a very long double stack back eastbound. As this train stretches around the curve and into the distance, I'm reminded of how just a short time ago this was not a sight along the Pokey. With hundreds of millions in railroad investment, this section of West Virginia has the potential to be a grand traffic funnel and boosting the local economies. I hope that everyone has enjoyed Part 4. See you trackside.